Hello, Cryptonauts, and welcome back to another episode of Cryptocurrency Chat. I am your host, Blockchain John, here with my co-host, Cryptonaut Mike. How's it going, Mike?
Pretty good.
Awesome. So, this episode's specifically and exclusively dedicated to the DynamoCoin project that we've been actually very involved in recently since it started up, and it's still brand new. There's still so much going on. But I'm going to show you guys really quick what is on the website here. So let's go ahead and make this part bigger. Oops, there we go. You guys can see what's going on here. For the people that are listening, you can definitely check out the YouTube channel. We do have a YouTube channel, C3 Media. Check that out. Or go to our website at c3media.tech. C3 letter C number 3 media.tech. With that said, let's talk about the website. You can go to dynamocoin.org. Dynamo is a technology and governance framework that allows anyone to meaningfully contribute to the ecosystem. The Dynamo engine powers native, on-chain, totally decentralized P2P transactions with no intermediaries. The Dynamo blockchain is secured by a half proof-of-work miners and proof-of-stake system. Interesting. That's quite interesting. We did talk about that on the last episode with Shaun, which we'll bring here shortly. But let's go ahead and I want to ask Mike. Mike, what is your interpretation of what DynamoCoin is? For me, I'm just going to say that it seems to be like a lot of projects that a lot of other blockchains out there are doing, but they're only doing one thing. For me, DynamoCoin is like all those things combined in one. What's your interpretation of it?
Yeah, and instead of like the best of both worlds, it seems to be aiming to be the best of all worlds, which is pretty cool.
That's what it seems like to me.
It's the first time I've heard proof of stake and haven't totally been turned off by it. Just like made a sour face. So I'm definitely excited to see how the development continues.
What's one thing you're excited about DynamoCoin? For me, I've been into NFTs for a while, and I'm kind of curious of what is going to be the final product of the NFT project itself off of DynamoCoin.
Yeah, same. NFTs definitely catch my eye.
Yeah, I know you're into NFTs. I mean, for the people listening out there, Mike, if you want to get into IPFS, that's a big thing. Talk with Mike. Hit him up on Discord. He'll talk all kinds about IPFS. So with that said, we are going to bring Shaun into the podcast. Where are you at, Shaun? There you are. Hey, Shaun.
Hey, I'm here. Sorry.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is our second episode following up with DynamoCoin. There's been so much development in the past few weeks with DynamoCoin. I mean, this project, I don't even think it's 45 days old yet, and there's been so much development. It's unbelievable how much you've been able to write as a developer. It's amazing. How do you do this? This is crazy.
So, thank you, first of all. I love programming, and I'm not going to say that I measure my output in lines of code per day or anything else, but I do love to program, and this is my passion, and I am working on Dynamo 100% full time all day long. I don't have a day job. This is my day job. So, you will see me in the Discord chat, and people will say, "Hey, I would love to see X," and I'm gonna take that and run with that and embrace that and build it. So yeah, everybody said, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks ago, you need to build NFTs, and as you saw from many of my comments in the Raven ecosystem, that I was like not very long on NFTs, but everybody told me you need to build NFTs. And so 5 or 6 weeks ago, I said, you know what? Okay, the community says you need to build NFTs. I'll build NFTs. And so we are literally on the cusp of releasing NFTs on our blockchain after, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks of development. So again, I love the program. I'm a developer at heart, and Yeah.
So,
And anything that anybody says that they want to bring to the ecosystem that they feel is of value, I will build it. And if somebody else wants to build it with me, bring it on. Like that's what my vision of Dynamo is. That anybody that wants to help me create this thing, let them come and we will build it together. Absolutely.
awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, it's a community coin.
Community coin. So prior to this, writing the code for the NFT, did you already look into the code? Like, do you have years of experience with writing like crypto code per se?
Hmm. No.
No,
No,
no.
no, no.
It,
So I'm gonna tell you straight up. Um, my interest and my involvement with cryptocurrency started in October of 2020. So just for reference, it's June of 2021 right now. My son sent me $5 of Ethereum from some crazy website clicking thing that he had earned some eco thing or whatever else, right? And he said, Dad, you need to look into Ethereum. And I said, okay, crypto, blah blah blah, whatever else. So that was October of 2020. Um, in in November of 2021, after I had done about 2 weeks of research, I invested close to $200,000 in mining equipment because I just bought all in. After I had done a whole bunch of research, I said, "Oh my God, this is this is the new paradigm, right? This is the new thing." And I said we need to be involved. So yeah,
so I'm
so I
assuming
invest.
you've read a bunch of white papers and that's what inspired you to get into it. Was it easy for you to understand it, or did it take you a while to try to adapt the crypto knowledge out there when it comes to white papers? Because for some people, especially for me, it took me many times over to read the original Satoshi's white paper, and then from thereafter it got a little bit easier. But still, I still struggle from time to time to understand what a new project is. And this is DynamoCoin is a hybrid piece of technology. It's proof of work and proof of stake. That's mind blowing within itself. To try to explain that is like to somebody that's not into crypto. It's like what does that even mean? You know. So hopefully here in a bit we'll get into what that means. But in regards to actually, let's get into that right now. Because I don't want to lose my train of thought on that. Can you explain the proof of work and proof of stake consensus?
Yeah, so I'd love to, and I want to answer your first question. Is no, when I first read all of these white papers and I first got into crypto, I did not understand any of it. It was completely foreign to me. Why? Because I'm an ex-Wall Street guy. All of my experience was in fintech and completely centralized, control-based. Pull your credit report. Like all those sort of security, privacy, compliance. Right? Like I'm a compliance guy for the most part, right? So my concern is about making sure that whatever company I'm working for doesn't break the law, right? And so all of these crypto things were completely foreign to me. So no, I did not understand any of these things. It was very, very foreign to me. It took me a long time to understand it. So to get to your question, yes, proof of work, proof of stake. I am going to be a proof of work evangelist. Why? Because proof of stake is all about centralization. Who?
I agree. And I've said it many times on the podcast before.
It's horrible. It's horrible. So who is going to stake their coins? The people who are invested in the system. Those are exactly the opposite of the people who you want to be securing your blockchain. You want people who don't care. And this seems a little bit counterintuitive, But this is the fact. The people who are securing your blockchain, they should have no care about your value. They should not care about your blockchain whatsoever. They should be, in my opinion, greedy miners. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying they should just have their own interest at heart. That sort of tug, right? That tug of war is so important to security. So if you say, oh, all the people who are securing the blockchain, they have all these coins on the system, and by the way, they're all the ones who are making money off it. That's not decentralized.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I mentioned that many times on the podcast. Many times.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
You want people who don't give a shit about your coin to be securing your system, because those people are going to be completely antagonistic to your system. And that's exactly what security is about. So proof of stake? No. That's a horrible 100% proof of stake is a horrible system.
Okay. So
now,
go ahead.
Yep. No, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, so what is this hybrid proof of work, proof of stake?
So, what do you need? You need a tug of war, again, this tug of war between people who want to sell their coins and people who want to hold their coins. And that's what a hybrid system gives you, right? Because proof of stake people say, I want to keep all my coins because I'm going to earn a percentage. So I've got 100 coins in the bank and I'm going to earn 4, 6, 8% on those coins. Proof of work people say, I've got no coins. I'm just going to spend electricity and trade it, and I want to sell it, right? Hybrid proof of work, proof of stake creates that great tug of war between those two factions that creates an awesome economic system of, it goes back to Econ 101, guns and butter, right? I have guns, you want butter, and it's the demand supply curve, right? Okay. Guns and butter is proof of work, proof of stake, imagined all over again, right?
I've never heard of guns and butter, but okay.
All right, well look it up. Econ 101, guns and butter, man. Yeah, it's just that basic economic supply and demand curve, and so you want to create a supply and demand tension, right? Mm-hmm. And so proof of stake people want to hold coins. Proof of work people want to sell coins, right? And so you create this intrinsic curve that says I'm creating this friction, and you have this great ecosystem that these two people can work between. And so I think the hybrid proof of work, proof of stake is the ultimate security, blockchain security protocol.
What made you think about that? I mean, I don't know. Does it exist anywhere else? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it does.
It does.
Okay.
It does. So there's two other blockchains that you can look up. It's Conflux and Decred. Conflux and Decred both have hybrid proof of work, proof of stake. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. If you look at their coins, mm-hmm. they're at $200 to $300 price point. They're very well positioned. Yep.
Wow. Okay. So
yeah.
I want to talk about the developers. You are the main developer for DynamoCoin, right? But there are other developers right now. Are you able to say their names? Or are they just behind the scenes and don't want to be revealed? Because I know some projects, some people.
Mm-hmm.
Some people.
No, I am. Yeah, I am. So there's three other developers that I am personally paying right now. There's Ed and Martin, and then there was one guy, Ray. He's still part-time, but yeah. So there's three other developers that we have full-time.
I really like the transparency so far. So far, you've been very honest, and that's what I like about you is that you don't hide. I don't feel like you're hiding anything. I feel like you're very honest, and that's why I like being part of the Dynamo. Personally, being part of the Dynamo Coin project. So you have Keith. Keith is your marketing guy, right? How long has he been there since day one? Is he a new guy? What has he been doing to try to help out DynamoCoin?
So Keith and I have known each other for 10 years. Let's just say, right? Keith and I had both of our children in the same private school in Tuxedo, New York. Um, we both have 4 children in private school, which is frankly a very large financial commitment, as you can imagine. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, and so we had known each other just as friends for a very long time, and um, about a year and a half or 2 years ago, we connected on at a business level, because he has a very deep connection to retail technology. And so I can't name the client because we have an NDA with them, but we developed a product that we put into 3,000 retail stores in North America to do COVID line like mitigation, right? So people couldn't line up in front of the store, so they needed to do like a virtual line, and so we created this texting thing and whatever else, and we made a lot of money off of that together, and we through that built just a great business relationship, and frankly made a lot of money. Um, and so then I said, Keith, I know I'm working on this cryptocurrency, which he frankly had no idea about, but he is a great marketing person. So I am admittedly a nerdy tech guy. Like, I have no idea how to sell anything. Um, and so I went to Keith and I said, dude, I have this great crypto idea. I would love to partner with you and like help you like help me to sell this thing. And so he agreed. And so so he and I are partners on this project. He's the sales guy, and I'm the nerdy tech guy, basically. So yeah.
Nice. Cool. That's what. Make sure you let Keith know that he has a fantastic smile on his LinkedIn.
Yeah, which I do not, by the way. If you look at my LinkedIn, you can bring it up. I'm like this
We're gonna go
nerdy.
back. Let's check it out.
Yeah, like it's nasty, right? Like, no, it's like I'm like the guy that's gonna fire you, right? Like when you're not doing the right job, like they send me to me and I fire you.
Oh
Like that's
man. Okay, so
it's horrible. It's
so
horrible. Yeah.
then I should be if I ever get a job,
Yeah,
I want to talk to
keep
Keith.
it on
and-
Keith.
Yeah.
Keep it on Keith. Keep it on Keith. Yeah.
Okay, so
Keep it on Keith.
here's a question. For the listeners and viewers out there that don't know what DynamoCoin is and how it got started, I definitely want to talk about the history of DynamoCoin. It's still brand new, but there is a history there that does exist. What got you motivated into starting DynamoCoin? Because obviously you got into
Yeah.
crypto early on. You're less than a year in, but from my understanding,
Yeah.
you got into it and you have this passion, this drive to help develop on other projects. But I want to let you tell a story because it's a very good story.
Yeah. So again, my son sent me $5 in Ethereum, and I said, "What the hell is this?" Right? And so I got into the Ethereum magicians. I talked with many of the Ethereum core developers, Tim and Mika, and many other and all those. I chatted with Vitalik several times, and I said I have all these ideas, right? And basically, they were like, no, right? Like, consensus owns Ethereum, right? So you cannot get your idea into the Ethereum agenda unless you're an employee of consensus, right? So right, so fine. So I learned that very on. I had several phone conversations with multiple people, chats, whatever. Okay, fine. So then I moved on, And I said, okay, let me sort of go to the second tier. Let me check out all these other projects that are like not really Ethereum level, but are potentially mineable, whatever. So I went to Raven, I went to Decred, I went to Conflux, I went to Eternity. Oh, like I would say those four were probably the ones that I remember. Um, and what I found was that all of those projects were incredibly centralized. That the founders of those projects held all the keys. That if I wanted to make a change and I wanted to submit my proposal, that it was subject to their unilateral and like completely I don't know, like approval, when no matter what idea I had, it was not open to the community. It was open. It was just if the founder thought that that was a good idea or not, right? And I'll use Raven, and I'm not going to pick on Raven necessarily, but I had several conversations with Tron about like implementing a virtual machine because I felt that implementing a virtual machine on the Raven blockchain was so critical to their survival that kind of thing was just super like interesting and unique and whatever else. And they didn't want to have anything to do with it. And
That's sad.
and so yeah, it was frankly it was very sad to me because why? Because I wanted to, I had again, I invested a couple $100,000 into mining Ethereum. I knew Ethereum mining was going away, and the next best thing was Raven. And so I wanted to mine Raven, but I wanted to mine Raven being a part of their ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
That the fact that I had invested a couple $100,000 in in mining equipment, like I felt like that meant something to me and should mean something to them, but it didn't. Like that was just like, no, whatever. Like we don't really care about your input. And I approached them and I said, hey, I've been a developer 30 years. I can put this thing forward, like, whatever. And but my question was, if I do a pull request, are you going to accept it? Like nobody could answer that, right? So I felt like my input didn't matter. And I felt like that across all the projects. All like I went to Conflux, Decred, all these guys, Eternity, all these guys. And nobody wanted to engage with me and say, yeah, you know what? Let like they didn't even want to just look at me as like what like asking me what's your developer experience.
Mm-hmm.
They were just like, no, you know what? We're the founders. Like, screw you. We're not taking you. So, like, there was not even an evaluation.
I can attest to that, Shaun, definitely, because I was there when you came in. I've been part of the Ravencoin community for. I would still consider myself a new guy. There's a lot of other OGs out there. But I did. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's not only you. I've seen a lot of folks out in the community that have this passion, have this drive, that want to help and develop and make this project better. But it seems like there's a lot of just negativity that they don't want to evolve to the next phase, which is possible with all these developers. And it's unfortunate these developers, such like you, with your magical fingers, just to punch out code like that. It's amazing. Just imagine where Ravencoin would be by now. I mean, you've only been doing this well, you've actually been working on it longer than 45 days, but it's Ravencoin. Correction. DynamoCoin, the main net, has only been out for 40 days, if that.
About 5 weeks. 5 weeks.
5 weeks. Yeah.
5 weeks.
Amazing, amazing, just to get this far already. It's unbelievable. So now we're going to move over to the DynamoCoin Explorer to talk about this, because this is something that actually, I think this kind of sideswiped you. This sideswiped you, man.
Oh my God, this is insane.
Okay.
I had no idea this was going to happen. I really had no idea.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Oh wow, 10 mega hash.
I had no idea. I never ever could have imagined this in my life. Nope.
Obviously people. Go ahead.
I'm so humbled. I'm so thankful and humbled by this.
And it's
I really
steadily growing. It's steadily growing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
No, this is incredible.
And so far, it's 144,045 blocks as of this moment. Unbelievable. With no interruptions, right? There's been no shutdown. There's been no. Have you had any hard forks?
No, we haven't. And the first planned quote unquote hard fork, is this support of NFTs. But I'm going to tell you honestly, I'm really reconsidering making it a hard fork. And I want to ask this. Well, we have an AMA next Sunday, and so I want to open this up to the AMA, but also want to open up to the Discord community. Do we need to make the NFT support a hard fork? And should it be? I don't know. Maybe we can do this as a soft fork. Maybe people who want to support the NFTs can run the client that supports NFTs, and those who don't want to support NFTs can run the old client. So I don't know. I'm definitely open to that.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
All right. Let's dig a little
and
deeper.
And where's the AMA on Sunday?
I don't know. Carmina was supposed to be broadcasting that everywhere. We're trying to do it. So we definitely want to live stream it, and we definitely want to live stream it on YouTube and have everybody be able to participate. I'm sorry. I don't. I'm not for all things technical. I'm not the social media guy. So, but Carmina should be like announcing that. Like if not today, then tomorrow for sure. I don't know why that's not already out. That should be.
Look at this. 4 weeks, 2 days, and 19 hours. Just for the viewers out there and for the listeners. Once again, if you go to explorer.dynamocoin.org, you'll see all the details here. It's the main node's been up 4 weeks, 2 days, 19 hours without any issues. And in fact, it's been continuously growing without issues. People have been mining on it without issues. There's no issues. You currently have.
I think one of the great things, if you can highlight it, is the peers. Yeah.
Yeah, there.
Like
there it is.
That's crazy.
67 peers.
That to me is crazy.
67.
I have no idea how.
That's
just
the beginning, Shaun. That's just the beginning. It's going to continue
to
grow.
No idea.
Once your marketing team starts to ramp up and produce more content on DynamoCoin, and people understand what the project is, trust me, that's going to easily 10x.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to blow your mind in the near future. Watch. Okay, let's move on forward, and let's go to browse blocks. Okay, and we're looking at the blocks. Here we go. And actually, explain this, Shaun. We're going to go from left to right. We got the height. Obviously, those are blocks. We got the date. That's the timestamp. We have the age. That's how new it is, right? The newest block that's released. What is TTM?
Time to mine.
Time to mine.
So how long it took to mine it? Yep.
Okay. All right. And you can see the average. Well, you got 26 seconds, 1 minute, and 11 seconds. And you got, what is that, negative 27 seconds. Now, can you explain the differences in time? Because from my understanding, every block should be mined on average about 15 seconds. So if you can take a moment there and explain how this is played out. Because you got 1 minute here, and then you got a negative, you got the different numbers everywhere. So if you could take a moment to explain that.
I will. So Bitcoin was designed on a 10-minute block time, right? And so they didn't have, they literally didn't have seconds built into their, their mining sort of paradigm, right? So all they care about is minutes. So it's all rounded to the minutes. So you will see negative 27 seconds because it's all based on minutes. Because block time is a 10-minute chain. So we could fix that with a hard fork. We could just make that we could increase because it's all minutes. We could increase the accuracy to seconds. I'm not sure that it's worth it. I'll probably post an update that increases the tick time to seconds instead of minutes. But not a big deal. We do see what we do see is 2 to 3 to 4 blocks per minute, which is what we're expecting, right? It's a 15-second block time, and there should be 4 blocks per minute. And so, we see about 2 to 3 to 4 blocks per minute. That's what we're looking for.
Perfect. Good answer. I like that.
Yep.
All right, miners. We got miners with nothing but question marks all down the board. Now, what's up with that? Why is it even here?
I have no idea. I don't know what this. I don't know. We adopted this this Coin Explorer tool from Bitcoin. I have no idea what the miner thing is, and if anybody wants to to take that on and help us out, please do.
Okay, now next we got the N. What is it? N transactions.
Number of transactions.
Okay.
We don't have any transactions right now. Not a lot of people are sending coins back and forth, which is a problem. So one of the things that we are 100% focused on is getting the transactions, right? So we need people sending NFTs here and there. We need people sending coins here and there. We absolutely need to get the people using the chain, right? Right now, it's just people are mining it. But yeah, people need to start using the chain. And we have a lot of use cases that we're putting out there. But yep.
So right now, like I said, it's still fairly new. We got your 4 weeks in. Yep. So these are technically just hobbyists. Not big money, not yet, but from my understanding, it's hopefully we get some big money in pretty soon because I would like to have a big bag of DynamoCoin to buy my, I would say Lambo, but I guess Tesla's better than Lambo in my opinion. I wouldn't mind a Tesla truck.
Yep.
All right, volume.
Yeah.
Next.
Volume is just the how many blocks were awarded, which is it's 1 Dynamo per block. That's the block award. So
for the listeners and viewers out there that don't know DynamoCoin, literally in 15 seconds you can get yourself a DynamoCoin. 15 seconds, 1 DynamoCoin. 1 minute. Come on, you're getting 4, and we're not even going to talk about the price right now because that's going to be. We'll bring that up maybe later on. Well, maybe.
Don't talk about the price.
Okay. All right. We won't do that then. All right. Good. The average fees. What's all this?
Yeah, the average fee is the cost to send one Dynamo to one other Dynamo. It's a default. It doesn't really mean anything, frankly.
Is it almost similar to gas or not?
It is. It's a gas fee. Okay. It is. But 36,000 is not the default fee because nobody's really sending Dynamo from one person to another. So the average fee is kind of meaningless right now.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But so in the future, these numbers would change.
Those numbers are probably going to go way down, I hope, because we hope that the fee to send a Dynamo from somebody to somebody else will be very low, frankly. So, yep. So we hope. And I'm going to tell you, our block size is 10 megabytes, right? So Bitcoin is 1 megabyte. So when you think about the number of transactions that Bitcoin can handle, it's 1 megabyte per 10 minutes. Okay? Dynamo is 10 megabytes per 15 seconds. Okay? So we have a huge capacity. We can do, I don't know, probably 1,000 to 2,000 transactions per minute as compared to Bitcoin, which is like, I don't know, one per 3 seconds or something like that. It's very low. So we have a huge transactional capability.
Okay. Now the next fee. There's another fee here, which as a person that's just getting into it,
It's
there's
delta fees.
these are what?
Yeah, it's delta fees. It's just delta fees. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
Okay. And
Yep.
percent full, obviously, because no one's doing any kind of transactions. The blocks are pretty much empty as
So
of
the
right
blocks are empty right now. We need to get those blocks full of transactions with people doing a lot of interesting stuff, which is absolutely what we're focused on. And if you listen to our Monday morning calls, which I'm beating up Keith to post, we are talking about that for an hour and a half every day. You know, like we are working on that. Absolutely, we are absolutely working
let's
on
take a moment and
business
talk
use
about that.
cases.
Let's talk about that Monday morning
Yeah.
call. What is that about for the listeners and viewers out there,
hmm
and how do they get into it?
Yep. Well, so absolutely. Anybody can join the call. So just hit me up on Discord. We will connect you in. Tell us what you want to talk about. Bring your topic, and we will absolutely talk about it. So the Monday morning. So it's Monday morning, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're probably moving it to 8:30 Eastern Standard Time just to accommodate one of the other people. But yes, anybody is welcome to attend and bring your topic and tell us, what you want to talk about, and please talk about it. This is the what we call it the steering committee. These are the 5 or 6 people that are currently involved on a day-to-day basis, trying to build Dynamo into a business into a business, right? Like creating business use cases. And so if you have something that you want us to work on, bring it on. We are here to engage with you on anything that you want to build. So if there's any person that has a business idea and you want to bring it to us, we will put our capital and time and expertise to bear on your business idea. We
Wow.
are absolutely 100% engaged, and we want to work with everyone on building your business.
What's the
So
catch?
we
There's
will
always a
absolutely
catch, Sean. Come on, everybody
no
knows
catch,
there's a
no catch,
catch.
no catch, no catch. No, we look. What is good for Dynamo is good for us. So look, if you have a business idea and you want to build it, bring it to us, and we will help you build it. No catch, no strings attached, nothing. No, nothing.
Unbelievable, unbelievable. That's
Yeah.
just that's good charity right there within itself.
hmm
Mike, Jake, and Vincent, do you guys have any other questions before we move on to the next segment here?
Yeah, Sean, can you go into the exchange process? Because I know that's something, that most crypto users use,
hmm
but never really get the other side of it and like what it takes and just the ins and the outs of it.
So exchange meaning like how do we get listed on an exchange?
Yeah, like just what's the
Mhm.
process and all that.
Well, I wish I knew. So so we have three exchanges that have approved, quote unquote, approved us. Um, what one exchange has asked us for a $50,000 fee to get listed, which we are willing to pay, and I'm going to probably pay out of my own personal funds, to make that happen. And then we have 2 other exchanges that have not charged a fee that we are actively working with. I don't want to, and I'm not trying to be cagey, but some of these guys have NDAs, because they don't
Oh yeah,
want
no
you to.
names. It's okay.
Yeah.
I
So
just meant the
I'm
general process.
yeah. So the general process is pay to play. Honestly, it's pay to play. So you need to put up a lot of money to get the liquidity. We are 100% committed to getting liquidity and getting on an exchange. So they they want you to run a full node with a wallet with liquidity of the coin. So you're gonna say, hey, here's 10,000 or 20,000 Dynamo in a wallet on a full node. You need to have an RPC that's available to them. Hopefully it's Bitcoin compatible, because that's mostly what they use, which we are. And so when somebody says, oh, okay, I'm going to trade, zero point 0.1 Ethereum for 100 Dynamo, they hit your RPC and say, send me 100 Dynamo to this wallet, and we'll give you 0.1 Ethereum, this other wallet that you have pledged. So we need to create the liquidity pools for probably Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Tether, right? So we'll pledge, let's just say $10,000 of Ethereum, $10,000 of Bitcoin, $10,000 of Tether. So we'll put up about $30,000 of liquidity in those three pools, and then we'll offset that with $30,000 of Dynamo coins for other people to buy, and we'll receive those things in return. So that's the general gist of it.
Now, is there talk about creating an exchange in the wallet for NFTs?
So absolutely. We have, so Ed is working on creating, the ability to buy and sell NFTs, which are uploadable in the wallet and viewable in the wallet. The only thing is, I don't
That's
like.
a big deal.
Yeah. I don't like the QT wallet, because you have to download the whole chain, right? Which means you have to take all the history of it. So I want to have a light wallet, right? Like I want to create the ability to upload and trade and download NFTs and own NFTs, but trust, have a trusted third party to have the blocks up to a certain point without having to download the whole wallet, right? Because that's a very heavy requirement. So I don't
that
like.
Could be where proof of stake comes in, and just functions well within the system, where you have a full node that people can tap in to validate.
Absolutely. So what you think is, hey, you know what? These stakers, they have 100, 200, 1,000, whatever coins in there. They can be NFT node stakers, and you can trust them because they have so much at stake that if they don't serve up the right NFT, they're going to lose all their coins. Yep. So then you say, okay, I can trust them. Let me use them as an NFT staker. And that's where the proof of stake and proof of storage comes in. Yep.
Wow.
So yeah.
So here's a thought. How about creating a decentralized exchange?
I am trying so hard to do that. I can't find a crypto attorney that will return my phone call.
Okay.
I'm serious, dude.
So it's at least you have a thought about it. Okay, good.
Oh no, dude, I don't have a thought about it. I have so many emails and phone calls, you can't believe it. And these guys are like, yeah, I'm going to charge you literally $650 an hour. I'm like, fine. Set up. Tell me when I can talk to you. I will talk to you. $650 an hour. Yes, no problem. Yes, I want to do it. And they don't return my call.
Wow. Why.
Yeah. Would be because they're getting $1,000 an hour from somebody else. I don't know. This is impossible. I would love to set up my own DEX. Absolutely. Yes. So I cannot get an attorney to return my call. Yeah.
All right, Shaun, we're going to move on to the next segment, which is the DynamoCoin Trello board. Now, this is something new to me, but it's amazing that you have a Trello board, because this is the part that I really like about DynamoCoin and what you guys are doing is the transparency Everything's here. There's nothing. You're not hiding anything. At least not that I
I'm
can
not hiding
see.
anything.
It's
Not hiding
there.
anything.
Okay. So,
Yep.
let's see. Let's go ahead and pick something here and talk about it and see what it's about. BizDev. Okay, we got BizDev so these different groups for the listeners out there. You got one BizDev core concepts, open development, in progress, testing, and completed. So you can go to the Trello board, the DynamoCoin Trello board, and look at it yourself. Go into great detail in regards to what's going on. But let's go to BizDev. Let's see. Let's pick something random here. List on CoinGecko once exchange traded. Okay, let's click that. Let's see what it says.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's it.
Well, that's it. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was hoping that there was gonna be some more information on there, but
Yeah.
okay.
It all is what it is. I mean, once we get it on an exchange, then we got to go to CoinGecko and say, hey guys, we're on an exchange. Put us up there, right? Like these are all placeholders for how do we build out, Dynamo as a as a business proposition.
There's so much.
Yep.
So this is amazing. There's so much. Okay, let me go down this just for the listeners out there. Okay, here we go. Listen to this. There's so much stuff on here, but I'm gonna go down it, and maybe in about a week from now, there's gonna be an additional 100 other inputs in here. Here we go. Here we go. Work with mining pool providers. Work with HiveOS. Work with GPU mining and software devs. Create peer-to-peer exchange built on LinkedIn company page. Research listing. List on CoinGecko. Update GitHub repo pages with proper readmes. Hire Dext and Sext manager. We just talked about that. It's amazing that you have it on there. Airdropped of BEP22 influencers. Whales. Okay. POS POW hybrid system. Voting opcodes. Not sure what that is. User-friendly wallets for native issues submission and voting. User-friendly wallets for contracts creation. Okay, the core concept I actually want to get a little deeper into because I'm curious about that. Open development, HiveOS, shell script, open codes. It just keeps going on and on and on. Let's go to the completed section.
Yeah, I mean, this is our to-do list, right? And whenever somebody comes in on Discord and says, hey, I have this idea, I want you guys to do this thing, you know what? I grab it and I put it on here. Like because I love community input. Like that is what this coin is about.
Okay.
Is community input. And so you will see on all the open development items, if there is somebody that hopped on to Discord and said, hey, do this XYZ thing, I have captured it on the open development. I have absolutely captured it. And every single thing. And so I don't want to I don't want to belabor all these things, but I don't want to lose them either. And so again, this is a very, I was so disturbed, literally disturbed at my core by what I encountered with Ethereum, Raven, Conflux, Decred, Ethereum, all these other places. I just was just so pissed off. And I said, I want a coin that anybody can contribute to. And so everything that comes in on the Discord, I capture it. And you're going to see that on the open development list. And, we may or may not get to it. And I don't know, if I'm not going to get to it, hopefully somebody else will. But it's going to get captured. And it's going to get ingested and dealt with in a fair way, not oh no, that's bullshit, we don't care about that. No, we're somebody's gonna vet it and say, yeah, it's a great idea. Everything is fair game. So
Shaun, I'm gonna put you on the hot seat here for a moment. I just thought of a question. I'm gonna put you in the corners. You're here in the corner now, right? You're on the hot seat. Here we go. There is there's DynamoCoin set aside for the foundation. It was not pre-mined. This was mined coin, but it is, regardless, under your control currently, correct?
There's no pre-mine.
There's no pre-mine. There is a foundation wallet of DynamoCoin currently under your control.
Yes.
And how many coins are those?
46,000 plus or minus.
Okay. Now, as a person that's a part of the DynamoCoin community, and mining and checking things out, how can I trust you not to just run off with those coins once there's an exchange out there that's going to accept DynamoCoin?
Well, what do you mean run off?
Well, rug pull. How can I trust that you're not going to rug pull me?
Well, first of all, there's 142 plus or minus thousand coins in circulation, right?
Correct.
So I'm a minority, right? Like I'm not even the majority holder anymore, honestly, right?
You're right.
Like
Right.
if
You
you
got a point.
if you think about it from a fair issuance standpoint, like I only earn like a third of the coins. Like 2/3 of the coins are owned by other people.
That's
So
amazing. That's amazing.
like if other people wanted to, like vote me out of power and say like, they want to do something else, if I implemented on-chain voting tomorrow and I said, the coin should be orange instead of green, like my voice is not even the majority anymore.
Wow.
After 6 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm like, how fair is that? Like that's
That's a
like
good point.
it's insane, right? Like I do not even control a majority of the coins anymore, and it's not even, like when I say there are, like 6 or 7 people on the Dynamo Foundation board who are all advising us, which we are probably going to, distribute coins evenly. So me as a, as quote unquote the founder and the full-time developer, like I own 1/7 of, of all those coins. Like I'm a tiny fraction. Like it's not even like, like this is probably the most democratic coin you could possibly ever find, frankly.
Nice.
Right? So what am I like? What am I even gonna rug pull?
You got a point there. You got a point there.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't even have I don't even have control over it. Yeah, but honestly, look, I mean, look at me personally. Like you guys are like anyone who's listening to this call or whatever is free to do all your diligence on me. If you think that I'm gonna run away with $10,000 or $100,000 or frankly even $1,000,000, like it's
Now here's a question.
it's a fraction of my net worth, right? So
Here's a question
it's not.
that is going to come up, and that people, it's going to happen, and these are trolls, but it's going to happen. But I'm kind of curious what your answer is in regards to this. So there's going to be people out there that they're not going to like you, especially your history. You're a Wall Street guy. You're a corporate guy. You're that guy over there. You're not a crypto guy. You're over here trying to scam us. That's what you're trying to do. You're going to get these guys out there.
Yep.
Who are you to be that guy out there to say that you're going to create this project and you want everyone to invest their money into it, and just pull. That's what I'm trying to get at. Like who are you? You're this new guy that's not even a year old into crypto and comes from Wall Street. I don't know, man. That's kind of sketch right there already. People are going to bring that up without a doubt.
Yep. So I don't want to I don't want to play the card, but I also want to be very authentic about that. Right? So and I'm not trying to play the sympathy card. I'm not trying to play the oh poor me. I'm not trying to play the feel sorry for me. Don't feel sorry for me, by the way, because I just bought a $2 million house, right? So don't feel sorry for me, right? But I'm going to tell you, as a child, I was physically abused, at a young age. My father was an alcoholic, and I ran away from home at an early age. And I've been homeless, for a while. I lived on the streets for a long time. And again, I'm not asking for anybody's sympathy. I'm not asking for for anything. I'm not trying to say like, any of that. But to I understand where people who don't have anything come from. Right? So nobody gave me anything, and everything that I am today, I built myself. I worked very, very hard, and so I just want to say, whatever I got on Wall Street was because I worked 18 hours a day from my own work ethic. It's not like I had a life of privilege or anything else. I've come from nothing. So.
Wow, Shaun, I appreciate your honesty. Really, I respect you like a million times more. It's when people are honest. There's very few people on the podcast that do come out and just personally talk about their history like that, and it's unbelievable. You're one of the few that have came out and said, hey, they started from nothing and been able to invest their own energy into creating everything that they have in their current possession. It's unbelievable, unbelievable. Yep. But let's get back on to DynamoCoin. Agent M, we've had him on the podcast several times, but he is a very smart technical guy. So I would like to give him the opportunity to ask you some questions, Shaun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, John. You're going to laugh because my first question is not technical, but I'm wondering if there's any kind of a story behind the name Dynamo, how you came up with that.
Oh.
Yeah. It's fine if there isn't.
No. So there is. So Dynamo is actually a very sort of 1950 kind of of course a dynamo is the predecessor to a generator, which is like this right, like antiquated thing. My thought was that the Earth the magnetosphere, right? So it was all around the Earth's magnetosphere, and the fact that the iron core is spinning and it's very dynamic and there's a lot of energetic like activity, right? So it was all around sort of the Earth's core spinning thing. That was where the dynamo whole thing came from. Is the iron core of the Earth. That was where my thought came from.
I suddenly now understand the current logo better. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's just horrible. I know. The logo's horrible. We need to replace it.
Well, that's one thing, but now I understand. Like now it fits together that you've got kind of that Earth, the globe, dynamos in there. Yeah. Great.
Yeah,
great.
It's the internal magnetosphere of the iron core of the Earth spinning.
Cool. I'm glad I asked.
Yep.
All right. So here's a tech question. What is unique about the Dynamo VM? Because I believe you told me you built it from nothing. It's not a clone of something else. So what can you tell us?
Sure. So the Dynamo virtual machine is based on my inspiration from the Z80 processor, which I love the Z80 and the 8088, which when I was I don't know 8 or 9 years old, I was programming these things on single board computers and breadboards and being very nerdy, geeky, sort of setting these things up. And so I still have a love for the Z80 microprocessor architecture, which I think it lends itself to the Harvard the Harvard architecture, right? So not RISC, but I'm still very much in the Harvard architecture CPU camp. And so those 8080A and Z80 processors are just very close to my heart in terms of optimization. And so that was the, I guess, genesis of where I thought the virtual machine opcodes, could be created from, just from a simplicity standpoint. I know that there's, a lot of other virtual machines out there that are emulating complete x86, CISC architectures. I don't know. Those may be better. I have no idea, but I feel that just a return to the roots, if you will, is the most optimized, and frankly, Z80 architecture is so easy to understand. My whole thing about programming, when I think about programming, and when I think about talking to people, when I'm mentoring developers and I'm talking to developers, I tell them, make it easy for other people to understand. I don't care how brilliant you are, but that doesn't mean shit if some other developer can't look at what you did and understand it. It's so important to make sure that your code is readable by the next person. And so I feel that the Z80 and 8080A architecture is much more readable code than something like an x86. That's just my opinion, but I feel that readability over, like you will see in Bitcoin code. Oh my God, in Bitcoin code there are so many different constructs that have these virtual pointers to static methods and blah blah blah, and you're like, how the hell does this shit work? Like, clearly these guys were very cerebral. They were super smart. They knew what they were doing, but nobody else can read it. Like, like, what's the value of that? If nobody else can read it, no, like, that's not good. So my underlying construct is, make sure anybody else can read it. And so that's how I develop my virtual machine, is anybody else can read it. I want it to be very simple for people to understand.
Okay, and that's great. Could you, from a high level, compare it, if there's any kind of pros versus cons beyond what you just said, to the Ethereum VM?
Well, yeah. So the Ethereum VM is state based because they're using Patricia trees, um, which is again, that, like, it's an abstraction upon an abstraction, and I don't like. I don't know if you're a fan of calculus, but when
I
you,
think it's interesting, and that's about it. I don't want to memorize all the formulas
right.
and everything.
Right. So calculus is kind of like, dx squared, and then, what is the integral of dx squared, right? So to me, the Ethereum virtual machine is, what is the integral of dx squared? You don't really want to worry about that. Like, you don't want to worry about the abstraction of the abstraction. I want to keep it simple. Like, let normal mere mortals understand as much as possible. Let mere mortals write programs for your thing. Don't make it so hard that you cannot possibly write a program for your virtual machine. And, they've created the Solidity, and they've created these other things. But those are all abstractions on abstractions. Like, don't make it so hard. Make it easy. So
Compare maybe, and then just, are there limitations on what the Dynamo VM can run, and how the load is, and what kind of comparisons are there in that regard? if you could make any.
Well, can I make a comparison to the Dynamo virtual machine to the Ethereum virtual machine? Um, hmm. Yeah, I would have a hard time doing that. I feel like, you know, again, the Dynamo virtual machine is meant to be very straightforward. So I want people to be able to write a program in the Dynamo virtual machine and understand what it's doing very simply, as opposed to having an abstraction on top of an abstraction. So I want it to be like really simple. Um, I don't know. I'm not, I'm not sure. I've written ERC20 contracts. I've written BEP20 contracts. Um, I don't know that.
Well, I'll ask this: is it flexible enough to do pretty much anything that
Oh,
that theirs
it's
could?
it's Turing complete with execution gas chap, yeah, a gas cap. So anything you can do in ERC20, anything you can do in a BEP20, you can definitely do in the Dynamo VM, but there is a gas cap, right? So you cannot run an infinite loop because, of course, that would bring the blockchain to its knees. So
Sure.
there's a gas. Yeah, right. So it's Turing complete but gas limited, just like anything else.
Okay.
Yep.
Great.
hmm But I feel that it's more
Or
it's
accessible.
more it's more understandable because it's sort of back to the basics. So anybody who knows Z80, anybody who knows 8080A, anybody who's those sort of assembly language constructs, they can write a program in this, as opposed to Solidity, which is like this layer upon a layer, which is very abstract. I don't know. I don't I don't I don't know. Time will tell.
Well, thank you for that. I'm curious if Jake or Mike have any questions along those lines or another one.
Yeah. Can you get into more of the plan for storage on Dynamo?
Storage
Specifically,
and
the NFT data being
oh yeah
stored
yeah
and
yeah
how that would work.
yeah sure. This is completely a completely new idea, which I'm 100% open to. I would love to get community input on it, but my thought is, for NFT data storage. So most most chains say you're going to store your NFT something somewhere else, right? IPFS, whatever else. My feeling is the value of storing an NFT, let's call it a video, let's call it an image, let's call it a 3D something, whatever it is, put that thing on chain, right? Make it part of the blockchain. It has to be immutable and provable through if I start a full node and I want to verify that this dude owns that Beeple, I can do that by starting up a full node and going through all the blocks, right? So I don't have to worry about some third party making sure that that thing, whatever that binary is really on chain, right? So the whole way I designed NFTs is you're going to store that thing on chain. So you have a hash. The hash is your NFT, 0x12345. That refers to something in a database. Who's going to store that database? Well, I don't want to have everybody have to store that database, right? Because if I'm just like participating in the network, do I need to have 200 gig, 500 gig, 5 terabytes? No, right? I should be able to opt in or out of that. But if I opt in, I should be rewarded for that. And so I want to create proof of storage. And so what I'm going to say is I'm going to store the entire NFT database, but once a day, I'm going to claim my storage, my proof of storage. And so I'm going to say, hey, I store the entire database. I want to claim that. So I'm going to send something to a contract, and I'm going to say, hey, I prove my storage. Let me send this to a contract and say proof, right? The contract stored on the blockchain is going to say, okay, prove it. I'm going to ask you back a random hash on a random file in something that you're storing. You cannot possibly predict whatever it is. And if you want to claim that, you have to answer within, I don't know, 10 blocks or something else, right? And within the next 2 or 3 minutes, right? And so then you say, yep, I got that block. I'm going to go look up that block in my database, and I'm going to tell you, yep, I got it, and here you go. And then you get your proof of storage reward, right? So if I am an NFT storage person, once a day or once a whatever, I don't know, whatever it is, right? We can all figure that out. I'm going to be able to claim my reward and say, I need, I'm going to have a pool of, let's say, like there's 5,700 Dynamo blocks per day, right? It's once every 15 seconds times, I don't know, 24 times 60, right? So it's 5,700. So let's call it 0.1, right? So there's 570 Dynamo that's put into a contract every day. And every person who is an NFT storage person says, I'm going to go claim my portion of that storage. Okay, then I can create a little daemon that says, let me go claim my storage. The contract acts back. Show me your proof. I'm going to ask you a random block in a random piece of a random file. If you prove it, you get your reward. That's my thought.
Interesting. Now, in regards to the NFT, Shaun, is it going to be built into the core, or is this going to be like a side chain or second layer on top of DynamoCoin?
Built into the core.
Built into the core. That's
very, very important. Very important. Built into the core because NFTs should be contract aware, right? So I should be able to say, if someone sends me some amount of Dynamo to a contract, they will automatically get an NFT back without anybody being intermediate, but no intermediary. Nobody else is doing that.
interesting.
That's very important. Very important.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Let's talk about the algorithm. The algorithm is very, very interesting. It still doesn't even have a name. So I'm going to pitch a name to you that I've mentioned before. I typed it, but I let's go to the Trello board, all right? Trello board. We're going to type this in. New name for algorithm.
Yeah, man.
It's going to it's going to be Dynamix. Dynamix.
Yeah.
Because from my understanding, the algorithm is ASIC resistant and will be ASIC resistant from Genesis block until the end of time.
Yep.
Absolutely. And why did you decide to do that?
Because first of all, ASICs are centralization. So when you think about who are the manufacturers of ASICs and who are the consumers of ASICs, it's all big companies, right? We don't want that, right? We want individuals. We want college kids in their basements. We want every man. So we don't want big giant corporations amalgamating thousands and thousands of ASICs in a warehouse somewhere. We don't want that.
It's quite odd to hear from a man that worked for corporate for many years.
Yep. Nope. We don't want that. So no. It's all about decentralization. So, no ASICs.
All right. I haven't heard from Jake. Jake, do you have any questions?
Oh, I've been having a great time listening. Thanks for all that you've been doing, Shaun. If you wanted to know, the reason it jumped from 9 megahash to 10 megahash on the network was because I invited a friend who's now very enthusiastic.
Nice.
Awesome. In regards,
And that's that's like really wonderful to hear because, um, I never thought that I don't know if I said never thought, but this was born from um this was this was born from like my love of crypto, honestly. Like nothing else. This is like I don't need a lot of money. I don't need a lot of like recognition. I mean, like you look at my LinkedIn. I've been around the world. Like I don't need all that. Like this is a labor of love, and it's so awesome to to have all these people coming in and just saying like, yeah, like like what you're doing is so cool, and I'm like like I just want to keep doing this. So yeah, this is great. I just want to I really want to say thank you to everybody because this is so great. So,
it's exciting. It absolutely is exciting, and it's very, it's it does remind me because I've been in crypto since 2010, and it does remind me of that original core team, like the OGs back then, that were just all they wanted to do was create code because that's all you can do to make a project happen. You had to just keep on developing. And then the next phase was people that had the coin had to show the use value of it and actually use it. So hopefully in the near future we get to that stage and start using it. All right, so we're gonna get ready to wrap this up. Shaun, before we do, I want to ask you and allow you to just speak in your own words in regards to what is being developed on DynamoCoin here that's coming out in the near future and the far future.
Yeah, so we have like many use cases. We've got several conversations going on about commercialization of this. Uh, uh, um, I hope that that Keith will post our Monday morning calls very soon. There's a lot of wonderful people who are involved in this, and yes, we are going to create a lot of commercial use cases for this in the very near future. So yeah.
So what do you have that you're working on right now?
Say again?
What are you working on right now?
Oh yeah, so all right, so we're working on an NFT marketplace, of course. We hope that we will, and look, as the coin creator, we do not want to be, the guy that's doing that thing, right? We want to create proof of concept businesses that others will take and run with, right? Like I'm gonna make this mining pool, but I don't want to run a mining pool. I want others take a mining pool and run with it, right? Like we do not want to do those things. So so we're gonna create an NFT marketplace that's gonna allow people to upload their NFTs and sell their NFTs, autonomously. We're gonna sign on, some fairly famous people that are going to have some new issuance. But again, I don't want to be part of that. We want third parties to do those kinds of things. We're looking at doing these accounts payable, accounts receivable matching things, integrating with QuickBooks as an example. So people that need to settle their receivables or payables on a blockchain, you can do that kind of thing. There's all kinds of things that we're looking at. I've got, I'm going to say like 7 or 8 different real use cases for crypto that a lot of, frankly, a lot of other people are looking at as well. We're not the only people doing it, but we've got a reasonable board of directors that can bring these things to market and connect commercial entities to these things to make this thing real. Anybody can say, hey, I've got a crypto chain and I can do this blah 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 thing, right? It's all about the people. And so you have to have faith in who the people are that are all coming together. And so I think that's the most important thing. So
Awesome, Shaun.
so yeah.
Awesome. Shaun, Keith, Ed, Martin, Ray, thank you for making DynamoCoin. We are all excited. When I say we, there's a lot of folks offline where we nerd out, we geek out, we talk about DynamoCoin because it's so organic. Like if you're part of this community, it's just, I don't know how to explain it in words. It's original. It's very welcoming, and I'm happy to be part of this community. So once again, Shaun, Keith, Ed, Martin, Ray, thank you.
Can I ask a question before we close out?
Yeah, Vincent.
Yeah, man.
Sure, absolutely.
The components of the chain, the NFT, the storage, is there any kind of fee-based structure planned out yet for using those tools?
So the quote unquote fee, if you will, is strictly the transaction fee to create the NFT. So there's two components, right? On an NFT, there's an NFT asset class, right? Which is let's call it the we'll call it the Beeple, the Beeple issuance, right? And then there's a limited issuance number under that. So there's the Beeple issuance 1 to 10, right? So when you create the asset class, or when you create the asset, each one of those things incurs a chain transaction fee, which is similar to, or well, not similar. It's exactly whatever the fee is that you would use to send a transaction from someone else, from you to someone else. So it's all in like kilobytes, right? So you pay so many Dynamo per kilobyte, and it's an auction based structure which miners can prioritize. None of the mining software that I have written prioritizes mining right now. I hope that that someone will write mining software that will prioritize higher transactions over others. But right now, you could using any of the commercially mining of available software. Any miner would just take your transaction and mine it without knowing it, because my mining software doesn't say, oh, this transaction is offering this over that, right? So there's nothing. But it's going to be based on a market. It's a market based pricing strategy. So if you say, I want to mine this transaction, and there's 1 megabyte or 10 megabytes or whatever else, you're going to pay the fee based on the market rate of that transaction based on its size, which frankly is probably minuscule, given that we have a 15-second block time and a 10 megabyte block size, right? We can fit a lot of transactions in a block. So we are not going to suffer from, well, first of all, look, Bitcoin is a 1 megabyte block size and a 10-minute block time, right? So we're already 40 times quicker and 10 times larger. So we're 400 times their throughput. But even if you think about Ethereum is a 13-second block time and a 2 megabyte block size. We're 5 times their throughput. So we are going to be like very, very competitive to any other blockchain that's out there, frankly.
Awesome. Here's a question for you. Where can the Cryptonauts get DynamoCoin?
So I'm gonna tell you that there's a BEP20 coin, but don't buy it. Please don't buy it because it's $7.49. Wait until we get on mainnet, and then you can buy it. Just wait. Just wait. Please.
What do you mean by mainnet?
Wait until our mainnet coin gets listed on a few exchanges. There's 3 exchanges that we're working with in earnest, and we're gonna be on 2 exchanges in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Please wait. Right? If I was a scumbag, I would tell you to go and, but I'm not. I'm not. Right?
So you're saying that next week you're gonna be listed on Coinbase, correct? All right, sounds good to me.
I wish, but no. We'll be on Coinbase in about 6 months, and we'll be in Coinbase in about 6 months, probably. Yep.
The best way to get it would be to go on to GitHub and run the software.
There you go. There you go. That's an amazing answer. Love it. All right.
Yep. Let us know when we start building Rosetta, Shaun.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. With that said, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Mike, M, Jake, Shaun, and Vincent, thank you for being on the podcast. With that said, if you guys want to check us out, we are on Discord, C3 Media Team. You can chit-chat with us over there. If you want to chat with the DynamoCoin team, they are also on Discord. You can ask our questions there if you have any. And with that said, Cryptonauts, always remember, stack sats and HODL. Adios.